calling it a love song.
What is up, my awesome gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be on the first impression of you. So we have 4 piles here today: pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So pile 1 says Your Name Hurts by Hailey Steinfeld. It's a song. She was in Pitch Perfect, and I think she's a Sagittarius. Okay, then we have We Checked You Out, Boo, with a smiley face and some exclamation points. Like, you know, we checked you out, boo. Pile 3 says Look Up, with a cute little smiley face and then 2 hearts. And some shades and everything. And then pile 4 says Pisces, February 19th to March 20th. And there is a whole, reading. If you're a Pisces, you can read it. If you just want to read it, pause to read. But yeah. So these are the 4 piles. Pick whichever one you would like to. Please watch the entire video if you can as well. I love you, and let's get into it. Okay, what is up, my awesome gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video. I hope you're having an amazing day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're busy watching this video. Sending love and light. If you'd like to order a personal reading from me, my details are down below. And yeah, let's get into it. So today's video is going to be on their first impression of you. Okay, I'm super excited. Let's just dive right into it. Okay, so pile number 1, you guys chose Your Name Hurts by Hailey Steinfeld. So I'll link the song down below. Okay, and basically it's about this person saying, like, just saying their name hurts. So I feel like their first impression of you was kind of like you leave a mark on people. I feel like for some reason they could tell that, like, you've probably hurt people in the past. And yeah, like, I'm just gonna, whatever's coming is coming. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So yeah, maybe they thought that you've gotten into fights before, you've gotten into physical altercations. Like, you could have maybe scars on your face, or just like a lot of battle scars. So they could have thought that you're like a military kid or like a military person. You've served time, maybe, like you've served time, or it's just like you had a really rough upbringing and it made you kind of very defensive and just seeming very aggressive even. But I do feel like there was like a soft side to you that they sometimes saw, but like for the most part when they first saw you, I feel like they were just like, you seem very unemotional and maybe even emotionally unavailable. And yeah, like I said, they feel like you've probably hurt people before, so they could have even been like a bit scared of you. Like, they were thinking like, oh shit, like, are they about to punch me? Are they about to be mean to me? Are they gonna make fun of me? Because I definitely know that feeling when let's say you're an introvert and you meet this like extroverted person, and it's just like this person is always making fun of everyone. Or it's like, if you're an introvert and someone asks you, why are you so quiet? Are you shy? It's like, that's the worst thing you can ask an introvert. So it's like that type of energy where they felt a bit threatened in your energy, okay? But let's get into it, okay? Let me pull some tarot cards. So Spirit, what was their first impression of pile 1? Spirit, can I please get an accurate reading? What was their first impression of pile 1? I'm hearing them say like they see you as being very brave. They're like, whoa, like, that person has guts. Like, I would never do what they did. Okay, so we have the 6 of elixirs that came upright. This does talk about nostalgic energy. So this person could view you as someone that they can kind of see themselves in. It's like maybe you're still in your healing process and this person can kind of tell, because I'm hearing this person like wanting to like maybe help you or guide you along the way. And like this person just feeling like they can see themselves in you. They feel like I remember I saw this TikTok and this other person was saying, did you ever have that feeling when, let's say you're at the robot or the traffic light and you see people just screaming on the street, and like just people like, just screaming on the street. And have you ever looked at them and thought like, if I wasn't scared of like what people would do or whatever, like I'd be screaming too. Like if it was socially acceptable, I would do the same thing. So I'm hearing this person say like, how you act and how you behave, like they're saying, you know, I would be doing that too. Like I'd be tough too. Like I'd want to get in fights too. Not that I'm busy promoting violence, but I'm just hearing them say like they would be doing what you're doing if they could, but like they can't because it's like, yeah, it's not socially acceptable or socially accepted, or it's like, it's just like not their vibe. But I feel like if they could, they would. Basically, I'm hearing them say that. But yeah, Six of Elixirs does talk about just nostalgic energy and like going back to your inner child. So they really can see you healing. Like when they first met you, they were like, yeah, I can see you're healing. I can see that you've been through a lot, and yeah, you're healing, and like this is how you cope. This is how you live your life. They could see that you have very strong roots to like who you are as a person. Like I love talking to Capricorns and Scorpios, even Geminis, but like people that will like that know themselves, and they'll say like, you know, listen, I'm someone that has a big heart. I will always love more than I can receive. It's like you have this straight up energy where it's like you tell people this is the type of person I am, and I know that sometimes it isn't always sustainable, but like that's what I do. So maybe they viewed you as someone that would always give more love than receiving, or you know, you'd put yourself first in situations, and like if that means cutting people off, you would do that. So yeah, oh my gosh, so many cards are coming out. So we have the Strength card. I feel like that really does go with your energy. They view you as someone that is super strong. They view you as someone that has been through so much adversity, and you basically had to claw your way out. So they could view you as someone that is really building up an empire. So maybe you don't have that much money now, but they can see you being successful in the future. And they feel like when you do get to the top and when you do reach your goal, you won't have to like thank anyone except yourself. So I feel like they want you to like be more appreciative of like how much you've grown and stuff like that, because I feel like they really look at your pain and your past as like something enduring, you know, or something that can be like a positive coming out of it even. I feel like that's how they view you. Like they're saying there's like so much to work with. You're like an empty canvas, and you can like do whatever you want. It's this vibe where it's like having no expectations so that you don't get disappointed. Or let's say you are late for class, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm late for class, might as well get some Starbucks, get a donut, you know, that type of vibe. Like I'm already fucked, so might as well just do it. And I feel like that's how they view you, where it's like if you messed up, you're like, I'm going all the way, you know, might as well just revel in it type vibe. Okay, Spirit, what was your first impression of pile 1? Okay, we have the Two of Rods that came up, right? So we have a lot of fire sign energy. So you could definitely be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or an Aries, as well as a water sign. Maybe like you're like a rising water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But yeah, Two of Wands just talks about, you know, communication and like even letting people see you for who you are. So again, I just feel like you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're a very straight up person, and I feel like they could tell the type of person you were just by looking at you. I feel like your clothes and just your words and how you speak and how you carry yourself really does paint a picture for who you are as a person. Okay, but let me just take a look at one thing. So Two of Wands, it says partnership. Okay, yeah, being a leader and like this level of independence that you have, getting what you want, is being very outspoken and being able to read the room. And it's like sometimes you don't think about what you're saying, you just say it. But like I don't feel like you struggle saying I'm sorry, but you're a very unapologetic person, so it's a big contradiction. Okay, I'll pull out one more card. Spirit, what was the first impression of pile 1? We have the Death card. Yeah, this is all honestly super accurate. You know, the Death card is ruled by Scorpio, so you could definitely be a Scorpio. Or they got this like mysterious energy from you, and they just knew that like how they see you now is not who you're going to be in the future. I just feel like they met you and they could tell that you were at a point in your life where maybe you're at your lowest, or it's just like, yeah, you're struggling, you're going through something, and it's like you can't open up about it, and they can't wait until you do. And I'm hearing them say that as soon as that wall does break, as soon as you're able to be emotionally available, you guys will have a different relationship dynamic. So maybe you guys are just friends, or it's like it's just a talking stage, but I feel like this relationship won't go further unless you go through this transformation, and unless you carry on with your healing and just being super diligent and being what's the word, consistent, basically. So yeah, that is what I got for pile number 1. I really hope the video resonated. I love you so much, and let's get into the next one. So pile number 2, we checked you out, boo. Tell me why I'm busy getting Libra and Virgo. I feel like Libras and Virgos are very compatible, but they're also like super toxic for each other sometimes. And yeah, where it's like we checked you out, so I feel like their first impression of you was that you're very popular, and that a lot of people probably ask you out, or like a lot of people know who you are. You know, maybe like you greet everyone, or it's like you just have so many mutual friends, or you have a contact for everything. You seem like someone that maybe folds your underwear, or just someone that's like, you have a place for everything. You have, like, everything is just so organized. I mean, you could definitely be like, you know, a disastrous, like, you know, very messy person, but they viewed you as a very put together person, and it's like you just know what you need to do when you need to do it. And you know when to keep yourself in check. You know when you've gone too far. You know when someone has reached their limits. Because I feel like you could be someone that teases a lot. Like, you're very funny. You're kind of like the jokester, or like an amazing sense of humor. And sometimes you definitely do take things too far. But I feel like you know that, like, oh shit, like when you mess up, it's like you try your best to always like make it up to someone. So they view you as someone that is able to kind of like humiliate yourself, or you're able to like humble yourself. But yeah, like I'm hearing the words humiliate, like you would humiliate yourself on purpose for some reason. Maybe it's like if you messed up something, like it's like this eye for an eye energy, but more like if you hurt someone, you'll say, okay, you can hurt me back 10 times worse. Like you feel awful when you hurt someone, which is interesting because I was just talking about pile 1. You could watch it if you'd want to. And I said that pile 1 has hurt people in the past, but I feel like you have like this remorseful feeling when you hurt someone, and yeah, like you just kind of bend your back, break your back, trying to help people. Okay, so Spirit, what is their first impression of pile 2? What is their first impression of pile 2? Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords that came up, right? So 5 of Swords does talk about breaking up. It does talk about separation and like anxiety in a relationship, and just feeling like maybe you're not enough. So I feel like pile 2, when they first met you, their first impression was that you've just been around the block, and not in like a slut shaming way, because we do not slut shame, but just in a way where it's like you're used to this. You always know what is expected, and you always can see things coming. So you could definitely be an empath, you could definitely be telepathic, or just very spiritual. I forgot, I don't think it's clairvoyant, but you can just see the future. And I feel like no matter what this person brings up to you, it's kind of like you've been through it. It's this amazing energy of like an Aquarius that I know, where it's like nothing scares them. Like you could tell them the most insane story ever, you could tell them your life story, and they won't flinch, and like you won't scare them away. And I feel like that's one word that they think of when they think about you. It's like you're not easy to scare away. Like, I don't know why, but I'm hearing this person telling you something, and like they thought that you would like run for the hills, they thought that you would like not be into it, but you were. And like you it's like, even though this does talk about separation, I just feel like it's more like you didn't leave them when everyone else has. Or it's like nothing really surprises you because you've been through so much. Like you've left people so much in the past, you've gathered all this experience, so it's like you're not like surprised by anything. Like let's say for example you're a teacher. You know, teachers are used to whining kids, they're used to people making excuses for their homework, they're used to all that stuff. So if they go to a new school, it's like, yeah, it's like different and everything, but they know what to expect, they know the type of people that they're going to be meeting. And I feel like with you, it's like you just seem so like unfazed, very chilled, very like, yeah, okay. And yeah, you don't scare easy. I feel like they like that about you. Because maybe this person is like scared of separation. Spirit, what was their first impression of pile 2? Ooh, my gosh. Okay. So many cards. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, sorry. I just gotta pull these cards back because so many came out. So let's start with this one. So we have the King of Coins that came upright, okay? This talks about someone that is financially abundant and someone that is in control of their career and like basically their path in their life. So they viewed you as someone that can make your own decisions and you know what's best for you. I feel like you can also make decisions for other people and like you give amazing advice and you have this leadership type energy about you. You're just a very stable, nonchalant person. I feel like you can be very intense at times, and this even reminds me of my one Virgo friend, and like they're amazing, and I like that they are very yeah, like I feel like no matter what I tell my Virgo friend, like they don't really have that many reactions to it, and I just feel like this person views you as someone where it's like they can tell you anything and you would not even like flinch. Like they could tell you like not something drastic, but you could tell them like some, you know, messed up issue you did in the past, and like that wouldn't be the reason why you left them. Okay. Then we have the Nine of Wands that came upright. So this talks about defensive energy. So when they first met you, they could have thought that you seemed very like standoffish, or you seemed very like I said, with this like resting bitch face, just very nonchalant, very chilled vibes. And sometimes it does come off as being very guarded. So you're someone that gets people to open up to you, but then you don't share that much about yourself. You're a very mysterious person. We have the Devil card that came in reverse. So, you know, the Devil card that comes upright does talk about addictions, and because it came in reverse, it means kind of like overcoming it. And again, where it's like you just, it doesn't matter what, how do I say this? Like, I'm just imagining you being in a place where nothing phases you anymore. You've reached a point where it's like I remember there was this Peaky Blinders quote where she was like, are you happy or are you sad? Or I don't know. And then he was like, sad. And then I think she was like, oh, but I might break your heart. And he was like, well, it's already broken. And I just feel like you've reached the point where it's kind of like, it doesn't faze you anymore. Like, I'm not saying that you're so broken that like no matter what anyone does to you, you don't react. But it's like, you've been through it all. Like nothing surprises you anymore. If someone comes and they ghost you, you're kind of like, okay. If someone fires you from your job, you're like, I'll make another plan. It's like, yeah, nothing phases you. And it even could be this vibe where it's like you used to be addicted to substances and now you aren't. And people just think it's like, how? Like you used to be like this different person, and now you're like completely different, you know? Like you've changed so much. And I do feel like experiences can shape people, and I'm just hearing that maybe you went through a very traumatic experience at a young age and it's kind of like changed who you are since then. It could be a breakup, or it could be, yeah, like I feel like you had a breakup and it was like really bad, and you just view all relationships differently ever since that one. Or yeah, you're just different since that happened. But yeah, that is what I got for pile number 2. I really hope the video resonated. I love you so much, and let's get into the next one. Okay, pile number 3, you guys chose the Look Up card, okay? So this does talk about positivity and just being, you know, someone that looks, yeah, you know, they look good, they look great, they're very attractive. So I feel like pile number 3, their first impression was that you look good, you look fine. And like I said, pile 3, you guys are always bringing the sexual energy. Like, you guys always just bring the hotness, you know, like the sweating, the blushing, the flirting, the dating, the adventure. Like, that's just who you guys are. So yeah, I feel like when they first meet you, they viewed you as someone that is just very positive, someone that always looks on the brighter side, and someone that is just like a great friend to have around, basically, you know. Yeah, they could have viewed you as a friend, like a very platonic thing, but I definitely feel like they were interested when they first met you. I'm hearing that for some people, maybe like they are in a relationship, so it's like they couldn't look at you too long because, yeah, like they're in a relationship. And for other people where it's like they aren't in a relationship, I'm hearing that they looked you up and down. Like, they're saying like if they could, they would, like, you know, they'd be all over that. But I'm hearing that like some of them saying, oh man, like I'm in a relationship, so like I can't be having these thoughts about you, I can't be looking at you like that. And like I said, for the people where it's like they are single, they are all over you. I feel like they were like immediately like yes, immediately yes, okay. So let's see, Spirit, what was their first impression of pile 3? Like, I don't know why, but this person kind of doesn't want to open up. Like, they don't want to tell anyone how much they like you. So I feel like this person was really into you, and they are really into you. But yeah, when they first met you, they were like, they were just like shocked by like how attractive you were. Okay, Spirit, what is their first impression of pile 3? So we have the Temperance card that came up, right? You could definitely be a Sagittarius. But yeah, the Temperance just talks about balance, you know. So I feel like they viewed you as someone that is, you know, equally like attractive, but also someone that is very smart, very educated, someone that is just very like, you can keep an amazing conversation. And yeah, like you just don't overstay your welcome. Like, you're never someone that pushes any boundaries. I feel like you might even be a very timid person. Like, you're kind of just like, you go with the flow and you let other people kind of take the lead in a way. But there are times where you try to take the lead, but I'm just hearing that like sometimes people can like look over you, walk over you or something. Spirit, what is pile 3's? Like, for some reason, my intuition, it's like it's being blocked by this person. Like, they only want to communicate through the tarot cards. So, I feel like they couldn't read you when they first met you. Like, they couldn't tell, like, are you into me too? Or, like, is this one-sided? So, yeah, you can be very hard to read. That's when they first met you, they were like, they couldn't tell if you were interested or not. They couldn't tell, like, were you being serious? Were you joking? Like, that type of vibe. Okay, Spirit, what was the first impression of pile 3? So we have the 9 of elixirs that came upright. Just double counting, but yeah. So I feel like the 9 of elixirs talks about, okay, like it says wish, love, joy, bliss, which is like super cool. But yeah, I feel like they just felt like you seemed so emotionally satisfied, and they could kind of tell that you were single. They could tell that you were looking for something, and they could tell that you were interested, but like I said, they weren't sure like how serious you were being. Like, they didn't know like, is this like the real deal, or like, are you joking? Are you busy? Are you not busy? Like, that type of vibe. Like, they couldn't read you. Like, you know, Edward and Bella, when he said he could read minds, and then he couldn't read Bella's mind, and then she thought something was wrong with her. But yeah, Spirit, what was your first impression of pile 3? We have a lot of water sign energy, so you could definitely be a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and maybe like have a fire rising. So we have the 4 of elixirs that came upright. So 4 of elixirs can talk about boredom. So like I said, I feel like they could tell you were interested, and they were interested too, but there was just this stagnant energy where it's like either their partner was stopping them from moving forward, or it's like they felt this, not wishy-washy energy, but they felt like you just seemed like, because they couldn't read you, they didn't know like how serious you were. They didn't know like how much you actually liked them. Because 4 of cups can talk about someone being very bored, you know, but also it can just talk about someone that is very like, they're comfortable where they are, basically, you know, like they're saying, I have enough. even the Nine of Cups, it talks about you're satisfied. It's like you've eaten a meal, you're full, there's dessert over there, and it's like you could eat it if you try, but it's like you really don't need to, like you're stuffed. And that's how they felt when they met you. Like you seemed like you were fine by yourself, you seemed like you were like okay by yourself, and they were just like dessert. Like they were like, oh, you know, it'd be nice, but like you weren't like, oh my gosh, I need you, you know. So yeah, as for what was their first impression of pile 3. And then we have the Eight of Elixirs that came up, right? This talks about letting go. So yeah, you just seem someone that wasn't that attached, someone very sweet, very kind. But yeah, they just didn't know like how interested you were. And they were trying to read you, so like it made them overthink a lot when they were with you. But yeah, they thought you were really attractive when they first met you, definitely. Let's see. Where are the elixirs? Swords, cups. There's the cups. So the Eight of Elixirs. It talks about seeking. Don't be afraid to leave the past behind and traveling, okay? Finding yourself, walking away. Yeah, like I just feel like they didn't know how long you were going to stay in their life. They didn't know, like, was this temporary? Was this forever? I'm assuming they weren't really sure how they felt about you when they first met you. They thought you were attractive, but they didn't know, like, does that mean something more? Does it mean something less? But yeah, I feel like I went through this pile so fast, but I'm really not getting anything else. Okay, we have the Seven of Wands that came up, right? It talks about someone that's very busy, very preoccupied. So I just feel like they met you, they thought you were really attractive, but you seem preoccupied. You seem like there was someone else on your mind. Maybe like they thought that you liked someone else, or they could tell that like you weren't completely into them because they were like, nah, like you like someone else or something, you know? Yeah. So yeah, anyways, that is what I got for pile 3. I really hope the video resonated. I love you, and let's get into the next one. Oh child. Look at this cute doll that I got. I don't know what to name it yet. If you have a name for this doll, a gender, actually I'm making them non-binary, so they use they them pronouns, but also sometimes he him, so it's he him and they them, occasionally a she, so yeah, gender fluid basically. But yeah, if you have a name for this and I like the name, I'll give you a free reading. Just comment down a name, and if I like it, I'll give you a free reading. Okay, powerful, you guys chose the Pisces card. Okay, so what was their first impression of you? You're a Pisces, you know, you're a water sign, you're very emotional. I feel like when they first met you, they felt like you were very emotional. They felt like you seem like someone that is just very like artistic, very individualistic, you know. You have this type of like Virgo, Aquarius, Capricorn nature about you, where it's like your energy can't be replicated. I don't know, I feel like the lighting just changed a bit, but okay. But yeah, I feel like pile 4, they met you and they were like, yeah, like you seem like someone that's very sensitive. Like I'm hearing like they were like, oh, you're so sweet, you're so sensitive, you're so kind. Okay. I'm hearing that you could be like a bit of a binge eater. They felt like you ate a lot of food. Like you didn't really care that much about your appearance. Like you don't really care if someone like likes you or not. Or it's not even that, like you could get insecure, because I am seeing that maybe they saw you as insecure, but it's more like, yeah, you don't really care how people see you, or like you just seem like someone that it's like, I don't know, like maybe you weren't dressed that nice when they first met you, or like you weren't looking that good. I don't know, maybe you guys didn't gel so well the first time you met them. It's kind of like you messed up. Maybe you said something to offend them by accident, or like you said their name wrong and they were like, no, 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 it's fine, but like at the back of their head they were kind of like, you said my name wrong, like really, like that type of thing. Or maybe you said something ignorant towards them and they were kind of like, I'm assuring that you apologized for something, or like you did something by accident and they were like saying it's okay, but like maybe at the back of their head they weren't. So yeah, I'm not really sure how interested this person was in you when they first met you. Okay, Spirit. What was Pile 4's, what was the first impression of Pile 4? First impression of Pile 4. So we have the Eight of Pentacles that came upright, okay? This talks about someone that is working hard on themselves and like trying to perfect their skills. Yeah, it says learning, development of skills, patience, and working towards a long-term effort. So I just feel like they saw you as someone that is already established, or someone that is working towards something that is very important. And it's like you have this tunnel vision when it's like you want something, you kind of, nothing else really matters, and you don't really take regard of like how other people will feel. So I'm just hearing that like this person did feel like hurt a bit when they first met you because of some reason, and like they didn't blame you, but at the back of their head they were kind of just like, okay, you know, message understood, like, okay, I hear you loud and clear. Like, you know, sometimes when you have to like friend zone someone and like you don't tell them outright, I'm like as a friend, but you say like, oh, you try to hook them up with someone else, or you just try and be very subtle. It's like that type of energy I'm busy getting over here. So it could be them trying to send out like, listen, I like you as a friend, or you sending out that message. Okay, sorry, my camera stopped, but like, yeah, like you sending out that message and then them being like, oh, okay. I'm just hearing them say like, okay, I hear you loud and clear, like, okay, I get it. Like, you're not interested or something, you know? But yeah, so energy can be vice versa. But yeah, Spirit, what was their first impression of Pile 4? We have the Seven of Cups that came upright. So I just feel like they viewed you, but maybe like you didn't make like that much of an appearance in front of them. Like maybe you said one or two things, but like you weren't talking to them that much. Like you could have met them maybe like at school or something, and like it's orientation day, and I just feel like there were so many people that they met that day, and it's kind of like you were just one of the people. I feel like you guys didn't have like a full-on conversation, you guys weren't really engaging that much. You saw them every now and then, and like they saw you every now and then, but they couldn't really form an opinion on you just because like off of one interaction, you know? But yeah, the Seven of Cups talks about choices, okay? Trying to make a decision. So I'm just feeling like they weren't really focused on you when they first met you, because they were focused on themselves. They were focused on what's in front of them. So if they were grocery shopping, or if they were like, you know, working at school, like working in general, they were focused on their work. They were focused on something else. They were focused on someone else, okay? And not really looking at you or paying attention to you. So I feel like advice would be to, you know, talk to them more, get to know them more, because I feel like they haven't like formed an opinion on you yet, or like maybe you're busy asking about this person but you haven't met them yet. So yeah, Spirit, what was the first impression of Pile 4? Ooh, we have the High Priestess card, okay? The High Priestess. So let me see, what did I write for that? So it's ruled by the moon, and it says, it's weird how your shadow disappears at night and the darkness follows you in the light. It's your mystery, your fire. So I feel like that's what drew them into you, okay? It says the mystery of life, okay? And relationships aren't as fun as you thought. A secret, the most important person in your life. You love them as a friend, but you can't find the words to say I love you. Yeah, I feel like it was like this platonic energy that I'm getting from them. And it even talks about memories. So it's like this person saying, I could have sworn this happened, or like I could have sworn that happened. So yeah, I feel like you guys didn't have that much of an impact on each other, or it's like they were focused on something or someone else, and they just saw you as being like, you know, mysterious, someone that seems like, I just feel like they just saw you and they were like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I don't know, I'm sorry if I sound mean, but I just feel like, yeah, they didn't really, because I feel like either A, you didn't meet them yet, or B, you didn't talk to them yet, or C, it's like, yeah, they haven't formed a full opinion on you. But they saw you as someone that's like very peculiar. I feel like they were thinking like, because you know Pisces people, they are very peculiar people. Like I remember my one Pisces best friend, they always had like the weirdest clothes, but like I thought they were cool, but it's like you could definitely tell they had their own style, they liked their own certain type of thing, they had their own music, they had like this niche type thing, and they even seemed like they were in a bit of like a cult type vibe. So maybe they viewed you as being very spiritual, someone in a cult. Like, you know, I forgot what it's called, that movie with the witches. I'll insert a photo. I forgot what it's called. But this movie, and like, you know, those 3 or 4 girls that were in there, it's like, yeah, you know, they were like the rejects of the school, but it's like they were badass as fuck. So yeah. Yeah, they just thought you were very peculiar. They were like, that's a strange hat you're busy wearing. Like, I'm getting Alice in Wonderland type vibes. Okay, Spirit, what was your first impression of pile 4? We have the 4 pentacles that came upright. So yeah, stable foundation. They just felt like you were showing yourself and they were showing themselves, and they felt like they met you, but they didn't think anything of it at the time that they met you. I feel like, you know, some people, when they end up dating, like, they'll say, oh my gosh, when I met them for the first time, it was fireworks, I knew they were the one. And then other people, they're like, no, actually, when I first met them, I didn't even notice them. But like, they can still end up dating. Like, it doesn't really matter if their first impression isn't the best one of you. It doesn't mean that a relationship can't bloom from this. But yeah, I feel like when they first met you, they weren't that interested. They just didn't really, like, you didn't really catch their eye. And if you did catch their eye, it was because they thought you were like weird or something, like a peculiar like hat or a peculiar sense of style or something, you know, or like your accent was very interesting. And yeah, I love you, and I'm sorry if that came off very mean. I love you, okay? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But yeah, that is what I got for pile number 4. I really hope the video resonated. I love you so much. Comment down below other video suggestions as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.